Well, it looks like we're in the end game now for Avengers Endgame. The movie starts next Thursday night. I already have my ticket. I'm going to see it. And now the real speculation for this movie can begin. I think there's been so many speculations now about what's happening, but let's address something. Who in the movie actually knows what's going to actually really happen? Now, according to this article here, the only Avenger who knows the Endgame script says the last 8 minutes are the best in MCU history. Now, who could that be? It's probably not too much of a surprise, but according to the Russo brothers, right here, Robert Downey Jr. was probably the only one to actually read the entire script. Joe Russo said in a clip above, I think Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, got the script that included his scenes only. Chris Evans, Captain America, might have read the whole script. I don't know how he might have. I think he would know that, right? But he goes on here to say also, part of our motivation to do this, it just takes a lot of pressure off people, Anthony Russo added. I mean, it is hard to constantly censor yourself about what you're saying, how you talk, because these movies are your whole life. It's everything you're doing all day long. The inclination is to talk about it. So we take a lot of pressure off people just by saying, okay, the less you know, the less you have to mind yourself, which is really, really good because, we've heard that Tom Holland, he has a big mouth and he wasn't given a script. So I guess he was just given his lines, and I don't know how you really can act, in a movie if you only know your lines, without knowing what everybody else is doing. But this is a good thing here. I mean, they go on to say here, Chris Hemsworth's character Thor doesn't need to know what Captain America's doing for most of Infinity War. So Hemsworth read his scenes and Evans read his scenes. So they don't read the rest of the movie. They don't know what's going on with it. It makes it easier to have conversations with people, Joe explained, before confirming that more secrets follow in Avengers 4. We kept it going through, even more so with Endgame. There are more secrets in Endgame than there are in Infinity War. That's pretty good right there. I guess they do this because this is a major, major event for the MCU. If you've been online, you can see interviews left and right with the cast and crew of Avengers Endgame, and nobody can really say what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure any kind of good interview person is going to ask them the hard questions, and if they really don't know, they can't spoil anything for anyone. So even if you have Tom Holland, who has a big mouth, and you say, oh, all right, Tom, what's going to happen with Iron Man? And then he can honestly say, I really don't know because I'm not in a scene with him. That made sense right there. It seems like the Russo brothers, they pretty much covered every ground there is. But Robert Downey Jr., he's the only one that's read the entire script. So he's the only one that knows the entire story. He says here, the last 8 minutes of that movie, or maybe the best 8 minutes of the entire history of the whole run of them in a way, because everyone's involved. So I was delighted. He may have spoiled something there. You notice he did say that everyone's involved. Now, it's not a surprise that Spider-Man is coming back, and also that Nick Fury's coming back, because there's also news today that Samuel L. Jackson, he's going back to do reshoots for Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, I don't know why they're releasing that like that. I think it would have been better to go into Endgame not knowing if Spider-Man's going to come back or Nick Fury's coming back, but it is what it is. We know that they're coming back. And the speculation has always been that everyone is coming back. Is Loki coming back? Probably so. So, but if he comes back, there has to be some kind of time travel involved because he wasn't killed by the Thanos snap. So just take that with a grain of salt right there. I think Loki's coming back. Heimdall's coming back. I think everyone is going to be coming back. But however, I do think there will be a major sacrifice involved for everybody coming back, meaning somebody has to die to bring everyone back. That's what I think. But that's a bold statement from Robert Downey Jr. saying the last 8 minutes are the best in the entire history of the MCU. Did he see the end of Infinity War? That was amazing at the end of that movie. Really, really amazing. So that just hypes me up even more for this movie. If he's saying it's better than Infinity War, the end, I can roll with that with Robert Downey Jr. I definitely can. I really, really can. But it's interesting how they did these scripts. You know, you're only going to read your parts. You're not going to know what else is going on with everybody else. And think of it. They did that with Infinity War, and Infinity War was an all-time great movie. How can you make an all-time great movie when the actors don't really know what's going to happen except with their character? So the Russo brothers, that's just great filmmaking right there. Because I would have thought that, you know, going into Infinity War, everybody knew what everybody was going to do. That way you kind of get the whole picture of the story, but that's not the case. And I'm guessing a lot of these actors, once they actually go and watch Endgame next week, they will be surprised. You know, it's kind of like Luke finding out that Vader was his father in Empire Strikes Back. And the only people that knew it was James Earl Jones, George Lucas, Irvin Kushner, and Mark Hamill. Nobody else knew. It was that big of a secret. But this is good news, guys. So the last 8 minutes, epic. Almost nobody knows what's going to happen because they didn't read the whole script. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.